Hi, I'm Jess and I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I also use she, her pronouns.
We work at Hope House, which provides free and confidential services to anyone affected by dating violence, domestic violence, or sexual assault. All the services that you see listed here are available for teens, and we serve Sauk, Columbia, Juneau, Adams, and Marquette counties. We have a 24-hour helpline number that people can call either for themselves or maybe they're concerned about a friend or a family member and they want to talk about getting help for that person. We can provide that supportive counseling and safety planning over the phone, in a video call, or in person at public locations. We do support groups, including at people's schools. We have staff that help with legal issues. So for instance, if someone needs a restraining order against someone else, our advocates can help people prepare for that, kind of let them know what to expect, how to fill out forms, and can go with them to court. We have someone available 24/7 if someone has been sexually assaulted and they decide they want to go to the hospital, not only for a health exam, but for a forensic exam where nurses collect forensic evidence that a sexual assault took place. Our staff go with and offer our support to people while they go through that exam. We have a shelter for people who are experiencing abuse at home and they want to leave but have no safe place to go to. That would be for anyone who is 17 years of age or older. If they're younger than that, they would need to be coming in with a parent or guardian. So while people are staying with us, we help get them food and clothes, and they'd work really closely with an advocate on their goals, like looking for jobs, housing, and other resources that they need. Lastly, we do a lot of community education. We give presentations to schools and community groups, getting the word out about Hope House so people know that if this ever happens to them or someone they care about, there is this free community resource they can go to for help.
As just said, the community education team will go into schools and give presentations on topics like healthy relationships and teen dating violence. And one of the handouts we like to utilize when talking about healthy relationships is this equality wheel handout you see here. So in this handout, there are different wedges, and in those wedges, you'll see traits for a healthy relationship and then examples of those traits. So some of them we like to highlight are trust and support. So it's really important that our partner trusts us and that we trust our partner. So that could look like supporting their goals, respecting their different opinions than ours, uh, giving our partner space when they want to hang out with friends or do activities outside of us or spend time alone. So the opposite end of that could look like if our partner isn't trusting us, maybe going through our phones, asking for the password, getting overly jealous when we hang out with friends outside of them. And so trust and support are really important. And if there isn't trust, it's important to be able to communicate that in a healthy way. So another part of a healthy relationship is that having that open communication. So if we are having trust issues or any sort of disagreement, it's important that we're able to communicate that in a healthy way. So not blaming, not name calling, not belittling, but listening and being calm and really paying attention and valuing our partner's perspective, and just knowing that it's okay to have different opinions and viewpoints from our partner. Another wedge is the respect one. So respect is so important because we want to make sure that we respect our partner and that they respect us just as a whole, right? So that could be who we want to hang out with, how we choose to dress, the music we listen to, but also respecting physical boundaries. So respecting our right to say no to physical affection and respecting that answer. So with the equality wheel, it's important that there's balance. That's why it's called the equality wheel. We want to make sure that in a relationship, both partners are getting treated equally. And the next handout is called the dating rights and responsibilities. And this is just simply saying that you have a right to be treated with respect. You have a right to that equal and healthy relationship. And so does your partner. So sometimes we get questions or comments from students saying, I'm not sure I am being a good partner, or what do I do if maybe I'm being abusive or doing things that are not healthy with my partner. So In that situation, you can do a few different things. You can call Hope House to talk to an advocate about, what does a healthy relationship look like, and talk through that with somebody. You can also talk to a trusted adult. You can talk to friends. You can also talk to your partner. So asking your partner, how are you feeling in this relationship? Are you comfortable? Is there anything I could be doing differently? But also making sure that we respect our partner's right to say no to that conversation. And then just acknowledging to yourself that it's hard to recognize that and be open and honest about whether or not we're being a good partner. And so also just giving yourself kind of that grace to recognize that it's also really courageous to want to be a better partner.
Some resources that we really recommend for young people related to healthy and unhealthy relationships is loveisrespect.org and Room to Be Safe. So loveisrespect.org has a lot of information about what does a healthy relationship look like, what should I look for in a dating partner, and some frequently asked questions that they get. They have this part of their website that talks about warning signs of abuse. And then I'm going to scroll down and click on types of abuse. I feel like this is really helpful for thinking through what does abuse actually look like? Not only physical, but emotional and verbal, sexual abuse, financial abuse, where someone is controlling the money as a way to control the person, digital abuse, where they're using technology to be controlling and hurtful of their dating partner, and stalking. So maybe I have a friend that says, oh, it's fine. It's not like my partner's hitting me. I could go through this part of the website and let them know, I know they're not hitting you, but your partner is calling you names and controlling where you go and what you wear and who you talk to. And that's abuse too. So that might be helpful for getting my friend to realize that they deserve better. They don't deserve to be treated this way. So for each of the forms of abuse, you can click on the arrow to get more examples of what that would look like. The other part that I wanted to show you is under supporting others. Again, if I have that example where I'm concerned about how my friend is being treated by their partner, I can click here on how to help your friend. And they give examples of things like letting them know you're concerned. Like, hey, I'm really concerned about how your partner's treating you. I really care about you and I don't like to see you getting hurt. You deserve a healthy relationship. You deserve to be treated with respect. I want you to know that I'm always here for you if you want to talk about it. So being a really good listener, being supportive, and honoring their decisions. So maybe they say, I hear what you're saying, but I really want to give this another try. I don't want to break up yet. We don't want to push it and try to force them to break up because they're likely to get defensive and not want to talk to us anymore. And we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to be there for our friend. So really kind of being respectful of their decisions and what they want to choose to do. Again, let them know it's not their fault. They don't deserve to be treated this way, and encourage them to talk to somebody else as well. So we could say, thank you so much for talking to me about this. I believe you. I'm here for you. Would you like me to go with you while you tell a trusted adult, someone in your family, someone at school? Hey, could we look at this website, loveisrespect.org together? Could we call Hope House? Then that way, not only are you a support person for your friend, but then they have a trusted adult or community resource to turn to for help. I also wanted to point out on that page, they have another part that talks about helping a friend that's acting abusive towards their partner. So this just gives some tips on how we could have that conversation and encouraging our friend to be more healthy in their relationships. The other website that we had on here is Room to Be Safe. So this is specifically for LGBTQ communities in Wisconsin. And on their website, they have a part that is just for young people. So they have, again, more information on healthy and unhealthy LGBTQ relationships, red flags, how stereotypes might play into it, helping a friend, frequently asked questions. And again, people can reach out to Room to Be Safe with the questions that they have.
So at Hope House, like Jess said, we support survivors of sexual assault. So sexual assault is any unwanted sexual activity. So that means sexual activity without consent. And to better understand when sexual assault occurs, it's really important to understand what consent is. And so to do that, Planned Parenthood came out with this acronym FRIES, and it's a really great way to just better fully understand what consent means. And so you'll see here, it has the first letter is F. It says freely given. Freely given means that there's no pressure, there's no force, threat, or manipulation, that both individuals are freely giving their consent without any force. The R is reversible. So that means that at any time, whether you've consented, previously in the moment or not, you have the right to say no at any time. So again, just reiterating that if you say yes in the moment, you can say no, and maybe you've planned things 3 days from now and you change your mind. At any time, you have a right to say no to physical affection. The I is informed. So that is anything that you and your partner should know about each other before participating in sexual activity. So that could be whether or not one of you has an STI that could impact your health. Is there protection? Are you planning on using protection? Also their age. So under Wisconsin state law, anyone under the age of 18 cannot legally consent to sexual activity. And so it is important to just have all that information so that you and your partner can make the most informed decision. Along with that, under Wisconsin state law, anyone who is under the influence of drugs or alcohol can also not consent because it says that you are not in your right state of mind, right? You're not competent. So that means that maybe, your motor skills are impaired, your judgment's impaired. And so instead of, kind of trying to guess or assume that someone wants to participate in sexual activity while they're under the influence, it's best to wait and safest to wait until they're sober to make sure they want to do that. The other part is E for enthusiastic. So consent should be enthusiastic. That means that both partners should be saying, yes, I want to do this. I'm ready for this, that there's really no confusion about that person's decision. So if somebody is shrugging or looks uncomfortable or isn't saying anything, that doesn't mean they're consenting. So silence does not equal consent. The lack of a no does not equal a yes. So if there's any confusion at all, it's just very important to be checking in with each other to make sure that both of you really want to do this. The other one is specific. So both partners should be very specific about what it is that they are wanting to do. And if one partner does something different than what was discussed or what the other person consented to originally, then there's no consent, right? It's been taken away because they didn't consent to do the other activity. They consented to something else. So it's just, again, very important to be communicating and making sure that both partners have all the information and are fully consenting.
So if there is a situation where someone did not give their consent and there was a sexual assault, we know that often for young people, they don't necessarily tell an adult, especially right away. They're much more likely to go to a friend and share that information. So we feel it's really important for young people to know how to support friends who may have been sexually assaulted. Right away, we really strongly recommend that you believe that person. Saying, I believe you is some of the most powerful words that you can say. So something like, thank you so much for telling me. That took a lot of courage. I believe you. What can I do to help? I would also really recommend not trying to tell them what they should do, how they should be feeling, making decisions for them. They've already had a lot of their control already taken away from them. So instead, we want to inform them of their options and be really respectful of their decisions and what they want to do moving forward. So be a really good listener, be supportive, and let them know it's not their fault. Unfortunately, there is a lot of victim blaming in our society where people might feel like this was their fault or they deserved it. But there's literally nothing that you can do that would make it okay for someone to do something sexual with your body that you don't want. So just kind of assuring and affirming with people that they didn't deserve it, it's not their fault, and that you're there for them. They're not alone. You can encourage them again to reach out to Hope House and places like the Hope House for support. And again, just keep in mind that for Hope House, we're really here for you and others in the community. So if you're ever experiencing sexual assault or abuse, dating violence, or maybe there's domestic violence in your home, we are here for you. There's that 24-hour helpline number that you can call for more information, resources, and support. You can also give us an email. You can look at our website or check us out on Instagram. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.